Hey everyone, welcome to Matt's Garage. I know, where have I been? Well, this is gonna be a bit of a catch-up episode. First of all, thank you for the support while I've been gone. People have been reaching out. Matt, what's going on? How you doing? How's the project? You guys have been sharing project photos. Brian down in Texas, he's making great progress. Joe, a bunch of other guys. Thanks for sharing. Keeps me motivated. Also a little disappointed because you guys are passing me up big time, but that's okay. I'm glad you're able to make progress on your projects. A question I got a lot while I was gone is, what do you do, man? So I'm in construction management. I did do power plants for a while. Now I'm doing more commercial and school and like city construction projects, private construction projects. So I do everything from litigation support to project management as a consultant, which I actually quite like, you know. So backing up a little bit, the reason I have this Bronco, I wanted to restore a like 50s sedan of some kind. That's what I was looking for, like a family cruiser. So I was looking around Craigslist and I was going around different cars and checking them out, and I was talking to a guy at work. He has a few Broncos and he's like, I'm selling this Bronco and blah, blah, blah. He told me the price. I'm like, I'll be there tomorrow. So I bought the Bronco. And that's how this came to be. That's how I became into the Bronco, because that job I had, I hated. I mean, I was miserable. I was like orphaned as soon as I got there, because all the people who I trusted, who I went to join that company with, they got canned within a month of me getting there. So I was just nothing to do, basically. It was like office space. So I bought the Bronco and started restoring it. So that's a little bit about me. And where have I been? Because my last job had me traveling all over the place, I had a ton of points. So I took the family, we went to Maui for a week, basically for free. All I paid for was food. So that was amazing. Then, a few days after we got back from that, I took the family with the Chevy and rented a U-Haul trailer, and we went down to LA. Now, we had a house down there that we'd been renting out for the last 5 years because we finished remodeling it. I basically general contracted the remodel during my paternity leave with little Gavin. And then as soon as we finished, I got the job in Australia and we took off, and then Guatemala for 2 years doing a power plant there. We got the job offer here. And anyway, but I'm not much of a landlord. So we bought this house here and took out a mortgage, and I was like, we want to remodel this house, but I don't have the cash. So we sold the LA house, went down to LA for Christmas, saw my parents, saw my cousins, got some old pictures of me as a baby from one of my cousins whose dad, my uncle, scanned them in. So that was great. And then we road tripped it back up here. My kids were champs. We shotgunned it from LA to Seattle nonstops. My in-laws, Mrs. Matt's Garage parents, they were like, we want you to come to India. So they're Indian by ethnicity, they're Americans, but you know, he's built power plants all over the world, and actually we worked together in Guatemala, but they were in India and they wanted us to visit. So they're like, we'll take care of the flights and the hotels. So that's not something you can turn down easily. So then we flew to India, which was incredible. I used to work in India, so I worked in New Delhi for a year, unrelated to Mrs. Matt's Garage. She was with me, but I didn't go there because she's Indian. In fact, when I called her up and told her, hey, do you want to move to India? She was like, this has got to be a joke, right? I married an Armenian guy from LA and you're asking me to move to India. Anyway, so we went to Delhi. I caught up with some old friends, took the family to all these amazing temples, and there's all these tombs that each of the Mughal emperors from like Babur to Akbar on down the line, they built in tribute to themselves. And they're all like mini Taj Mahals. They got better and better as the Mughal emperors progressed down the chain of succession. So that was pretty sweet. The Lotus Temple, it's Baha'i temple, was really nice, very peaceful. While we're at Delhi, one of the power plants my father-in-law built is about 3 hours north of Delhi. So we went there, got like the VIP tour, and I've built power plants. This is a really big power plant. So the kids, normally kids don't go on industrial sites, but we got them PPE. We got them PPE, and I won't say where the power plant is, but here's my kid standing in front of a 660 megawatt Dongfeng turbine, which that's a big turbine. I mean, it's got 2 LP sections. They don't make them like that anymore because of efficiency, but it was amazing. And then this was crazy. So it's a coal plant. I know, sorry, you know, people need electricity. So they don't have belly dumps on these rails. So there's something called a tippler, and it literally grabs a coal car and tips it over. That's how they empty the coal. Here's some footage of it. After Delhi, we went to this place called Guwahati, which is in like Assam region. You might know Assam tea. And that was incredible. So there's a place called the Kaziranga Wild Animal Park. Off-roading at the Kaziranga Wild Animal Park. And you know, the Wild Animal Park was pretty sweet. We saw some rhinos. One walked right up onto the road we were on. I got some great shots of that and some video footage. And then from there, we went to, the heater kicked on, the family just came home. It was chaos. Anyway, so we went to Shillong, which is called the Scotland of India. It's not the Scotland of India, but it is pretty sweet. Pretty nice waterfalls. And then you go into the Cherrapunji Valley, and they had the coolest thing I've ever seen there. They had these rubber trees where they train the roots to become a bridge. I mean, it's like, there's no wood, there's no rope. I mean, there's wood, but there's no processed wood. It's just root. And there's a double-decker one. It's 3,000 steps down, and then a couple miles of hiking, and then 3,000 steps back up. Total butt kicker of a hike, but it is awesome. Even videotaping this, I just can't, it's just amazing.
Dad, look at those kids compared to the rock.
Look at those kids. Where do you see kids?
No.
Oh yeah.
That little one is like 500 of those, one of those small rocks.
And you know, the caves and all that stuff. So from there we went to Calcutta, which is where my wife's family's from. Now, Mrs. Matt's garage is a red-blooded American like me, but you know, ethnically she's Bengali from Calcutta. So we went and saw cousins there. We cruised around central Calcutta, and the markets there are insane. Here's a taste of it. Keep going. We went to the Armenian church in Calcutta, which has been there for hundreds of years. You know, I'm Armenian ethnically, so just to see the graves of people who share my blood, you know, from like the 1800s, yeah, it was pretty cool, you know, because my kids are half Armenian, half Bengali, and we're in an Armenian church in Bengal, so it's kind of a unique life feeling. Hard to relate other than that. And then, you know, went to my father-in-law's ancestral village, went to his regular village where he grew up, and it was just a great overall trip. I love India, I lived there, so you kind of get over the salt on your Western sensibilities, and then you can just enjoy it for what it is, which is like a very old, very deep culture. And then we got back. Okay, so we got back. Now, it's cold, it's dark, and I've sort of been going through some stuff mentally because I really like my job and I want to do a good job there, so I've been spending time at work. And then also, 1 second, you know, I bought this skateboard like 20 years ago because it says Matt Beach, and my name's Matt and I like the beach. And I had the deck, I had trucks put on the deck with some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle grip tape for Gavin and some big soft wheels for him. So I took him to some skate parks down in La Crescenta when I was down there for Christmas, and I got on it and I really liked it. So last weekend I went and I got a real deck put together with slightly harder wheels, Spitfire wheels, Reds bearings, regular grip tape, nice little pattern on the bottom. This is an 8.5-inch deck. So we went to the skate park up here Saturday and Sunday with pads and stuff. So I'm trying to get into skating. I skated a little bit when I was a kid, but I sucked, and I will do an ollie before I die. Maybe right before I die. So that's what I've been up to, guys. No Bronco work at all. I haven't touched the Bronco in 2 months. My air compressor hasn't been on in 2 months. I haven't had an arc on my welder for 2 months, nothing. The garage is a mess. It's got camping gear. It's got crap that I've been storing at my parents' house for like 7 years in the back of the Bronco. My generator is still stuffed under the Bronco from when the power went out. So I'm not gonna do any work on the Bronco today. I'm gonna go clean up the garage, but I gotta be honest, during the winter, it's gonna be a pretty slow pace. Having said that, Mrs. Matt's Garage is going to meet up with her sister in New Mexico for a week, and she's taking my kids and dropping them off in LA with my parents. So they're gonna go do Disneyland or Universal City, or Dad, if you're watching this, I'll pay for the tickets to Universal City or Disneyland or whatever, but you're gonna have to take them. Hope that's okay. Love you, you're a great dad. So while the family's away, I'm gonna spend my nights grinding away in here. Hopefully the weather cooperates and I can get some stuff done. And finally, this is kind of a big deal for Matt's Garage. So this house we bought is in 1986. It's got the original carpet on it. Blech. I mean, it's like, it's in good shape, don't get me wrong, it's not a pigsty, but like, it's old, the finishes are old, and then what we didn't realize when we bought it, because the Seattle market was so hot, we loved the property, so we bought the house, is like all the dimensions of all the rooms screwed up. So we have to do a major remodel, and we got the architect and all that, and we're hoping to start this year. I may put it off till next year, but right now, it's looking like this year, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll be honest. I might buy a container and put the Bronco in it. I might have a nice garage in the place we rent while we remodel this house. I really have no idea, guys. So I'm just being honest with you, so there's no surprises. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about what's been going on. I hope this was entertaining from you from the human side, even though you learned nothing about the Bronco or cars. But life isn't about the Bronco. The Bronco is about enjoying life. So I will see you next time on Matt's Garage.